Hello, boys and girls. It's Uncle Dick. I'm going to read you some stories. The first one is The Little Engine That Could. And this is an old story. I'm old enough that I'm a grandpa now, but I remember when I was about your age, I used to love this book. So I still love it, and I'm going to read it to you now. The Little Engine That Could. Chug, chug, puff, puff, ding dong, ding dong. The little train rumbled over the tracks. She was a happy little train. For she had such a jolly load to carry. Her cars were filled full of good things for boys and girls. There were toy animals, giraffes and with long necks, teddy bears with almost no necks at all, and even a baby elephant. Then there were dolls, dolls with blue eyes and yellow curls, dolls with brown eyes and brown bobbed heads, and the funniest little toy clown you ever saw. And there were cars full of toy engines, airplanes, tops, jackknives, picture puzzles, books, every kind of thing boys and girls would want. But that was not all. Some of the cars were filled with all sorts of good things for boys and girls to eat. Big golden oranges, red-cheeked apples, bottles of creamy milk for their breakfast, fresh spinach for their dinners, peppermint drops and lollipops for after-meal treats. The little train was carrying all these wonderful things to the good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain. She puffed along merrily. Then all of a sudden she stopped with a jerk and simply could not go another inch. She tried and she tried, but her wheels would not turn. What were all those boys, good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain going to do without the wonderful toys to play with and the good food to eat? Here comes the shiny new engine, said the funny little clown who jumped out of the train. Let us ask him to help us. So all the dolls and toys cried out together. Please, shiny new engine, won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or any good food to eat unless you come help us. But the shiny new engine snorted. I pull you? I am a passenger train. I have just carried a fine big train over the mountain with more cars than you ever dreamed of. My train had sleeping cars with comfortable berths, a dining car where waiters bring whatever hungry people want to eat, and parlor cars in which people sit in soft armchairs and look out of big plate glass windows. I pull the likes of you? Indeed not. And off he steamed to the roundhouse where engines live when they are not busy. How sad the little engine and all the dolls and toys felt. Then the little clown called out, the passenger engine is not the only one in the world. Here is another engine coming, a great big strong one. Let us ask him to help us. The little toy clown waved his flag and the big strong engine came to a stop. Please, oh please, big engine, cried the dolls and toys together. Won't you please pull our engine over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the good little boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us." But the big strong engine bellowed, "I am a freight engine. I have been pulling a big train loaded with big machines over the mountain. These machines print books and newspapers for grown-ups to read. I am a very important engine indeed. I won't pull the likes of you." And the freight engine puffed off indignantly to the roundhouse. The little train and all the dolls and toys were very sad. "Cheer up," cried the little toy clown. "The freight engine is not the only one in the world. Here comes another. He looks very old and tired, but our train is so little, perhaps he can help us." So the toy clown waved his flag, and the dingy, rusty, old engine stopped. "Please, kind engine," cried all the dolls and toys together, "won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us." But the rusty old engine sighed, "I am so tired. I must rest my weary wheels. I cannot pull even so little a train as yours over the mountain. I cannot. And off he rumbled to the roundhouse, chugging, "I cannot. Then indeed the little train was very, very sad, and all the dolls and toys were ready to cry. But the little clown called out, "Here is another engine coming. A little blue engine, a very little one. Maybe she will help us." The very little engine came chugging merrily along. When she saw the toy clown's flag, she stopped quickly. "What's the matter, my friend?" she asked kindly. "Oh, little blue engine," cried the dolls and toys, "will you pull us over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us. Please, please help." "Please help us, little blue engine." "I'm not very big," said the little blue engine. "They use me only for switching trains in the yard. I have never been over the mountain." "But we must get over the mountain before the children awake," said all the dolls and toys. The very little engine looked up and saw the tears in the doll's eyes, and she thought of the good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain who would not have any toys or good food unless she helped. Then she said, "I think I can. I think I can. I think I can." And she hitched herself to the little train. She tugged and pulled and pulled and tugged, and slowly, very slowly they started off. The toy clown jumped aboard, and all the dolls and toy animals began to smile and cheer. Puff, puff, chug, chug went the little blue engine. "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." Up, 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 faster and faster and faster the little engine climbed until at last they reached the top of the mountain. Down in the valley lay the city. "Hooray, hooray," cried the funny little clown and all the dolls and toys. "The good little boys and girls in the city will be happy because you helped us, kind little blue engine." And the little blue engine smiled and seemed to say, as she puffed steadily down the mountain, I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could. I thought I could. The end. And that was The Little Engine That Could. And I got two more books here. Let's see. This one's a Dr. Seuss book. Oh, the things you can think. Oh, the things you can think. Oh, the Things You Can Think by Dr. Seuss. You can think up some birds. That's what you can do. You could think about yellow or think about blue. You can think about red. You can think about pink. You can think about a horse. Oh, the things you can think. Oh, the things you can think up if only you try. If you try, you can think up a guff going by. You can think about gloves. You can think about snows. You can think of a long time about snows and their gloves. Think of black water. Think of white sky. Think of a boat. Think of blocks blowing by. You can think about night, a night in Nanup. The birds are asleep and the 3 moons are up. 1, 2, 3. You can think about day, a day in Dadek. The water is blue and the birds are awake. Think, think, and wonder. Wonder and think. How much water can 55 elephants drink? You can wonder how long is the tail of a zoing. And what would you do if you met a jiboo? Oh, the things you can think. Think of Peter the postman who crosses the ice once every day and on Saturdays twice. Think. You can think and you can wish. Think a race on a horse, on a ball, with a fish. Think of light. Think of bright. Think of stairs in the night. Think a ship. Think up a long trip. Go visit the zipper and the zipper of zip. And left, think of left. And think about beef. Beefed. Which is it? That belfed always go to the left. And why is it so many things go to the right? You can think about that until Saturday night. Think left and think right, and think low and think high. Oh, thinks you can think up if only you try. Oh, the thinks you can think up if only you try. The end. I got one more book. How full is your bucket? For kids. Let's see what this is about. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. I want to build with you, she said. Felix scowled. Go away. You're too little. I'm big. Stay back, you'll knock it over. I can be very careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna. And then she feels sad. Thwack. Ooh, not good. They both yelled, Grandpa! Grandpa shook his head. Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad, but when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket. Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still. He's getting his cereal down from the cupboard. Felix slipped and the cocoa wheat scattered across the floor. Felix, yelled his mom, you should have used the stool to reach that. Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. Ha ha, Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus, scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it. Drip. See the bucket? Psst. Felix. Psst, psst, psst. And he's feeling bad because the kids are whispering about it. Watch out, shrimp. Bully pushes and drip. It was still morning and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop. Drop, plop, plink, drop. And the ginormosaurus you wouldn't want, the Giganotosaurus who wanted a pet by me, Felix. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. And then Felix finally read, "The end." Everyone clapped. Even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. It's filling his bucket. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. And now there's more water in his bucket. Drip, drip, drip. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. How about that? Drop, drop. Let me help you. Drop. Here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude. Drop. Drop. Hi, I'm Felix. First day. Drop. Yes, I'm Amir. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might not have invisible buckets. Might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." "Whack," she says. Until then, do you want to help build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? Ooh, nice. Playing with his sister. And so they did. And there's the buckets. The end. And the name of that book was How Full Is Your Bucket? 4 kids. Written by Ruth and Mary Reckenmeyer. Illustrated by Maury Manning. The end. Thanks for listening. This is Uncle Dick saying goodbye. See you next time.